and welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you're already part of the Sprinkle Squad. I am so happy to see you again, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. So we are continuing the Rainbow Road giant lot that I've been working on. So in case this is the first video you're watching for this series, I've decided to, well, I call it a series. It's only gonna be 6 videos, but I've decided to make a residential rental lot where there's 6 homes, and yeah, you guessed it, it's gonna be rainbow. So each house is a different color, so it's kind of also having a color challenge as well, kind of wrapped into this. So today we are working on the greenhouse, which, listen, I honestly struggled a lot with it. I feel like it wasn't necessarily the actual color, but rather the idea of what I wanted for this home. I don't know why when I was going into it, I kind of wanted this these little round round pockets, and it's supposed to look cool. I did some weird stuff with the roofs, and it was a whole thing, and I can't even remember because it's actually been a month and a half since I built this. But I do remember that I had to redo it several times before I was happy. And I know I changed the exterior a lot. I felt like the green was hard, in terms of deciding what kind of green I was going for, whether I wanted to go for that really bright green or I wanted to go for a sage green, what I was looking for, because I really did want this to blend nicely and look good. You want to play in it, and it's not just literally everything's green, but that it really makes sense. And you can see I tried to do these little skylight kind of roof things, and it was a whole thing, and I am really happy with the way it turned out. It took a little while to get there, but I am happy with it. And by the way, this is already up on the Sims 4 gallery, the whole Rainbow Road lot. It has been uploaded for a while now, because I said, I finished the whole thing a long time ago, but because of my move, I ended up being very behind that, along with technical difficulties that I was having. I think I talked about it in my last video, so in the yellow house I talked about it, so I won't go into details all over again. So in case you are keeping up with my videos, you don't have to hear it all. But I ended up finishing everything, and it's already posted. So it's on the gallery under my ID, spicensprinkles, all one word, all lowercase, and down in the description if you want to see it written out. It also has the hashtag spicensprinkles. I've started doing that recently. I'm hoping that will also help you find builds on the gallery. I've heard that it can be an issue trying to find stuff, so hopefully you don't have any issues. And I did playtest all these builds the best I could, so hopefully you don't have any issues, and I'm hoping things didn't break either, especially since this is not only a rental lot, but also because it is 6 different individual homes. I'm hoping things didn't get too weird. So when I posted it, the things should work. So hopefully they do work for you. And I think this would be honestly a really fun lot to do storytelling with. To be honest, having all these different Sims living here, you could even have the Sims be that's their favorite color. I think that would be kind of funny. It's almost a not so berry kind of ish. Obviously I know the not so berry challenge has some more interesting colors. Isn't there a peach and a teal and stuff like that? But I don't know, kind of loosely, I don't know. But I did experiment a lot here, and of course I decided that I really wanted to use round walls. I don't know why I did that to myself. Well, I know why, because I think it would be cool. So I decided to use them, but they are so difficult to deal with in The Sims. So if you're someone that builds, or you've watched builders, the round walls are just very finicky. They just don't always work properly. So I struggled a bit here and there trying to place things where I want it to go, and really trying to figure out how to lay this out. And this particular home has 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, I believe, from memory. And it is a rather large home, but it does include an indoor really large greenhouse. So I thought that was really fun, and I really tried to make it, greenhouse. I really leaned into that theme of it just having a bunch of plants and really focusing on those green tones. And I've actually been really into this sage color lately, also not just in Sims but in real life. I just moved, and so I've been thinking about redoing my bedroom and stuff, and I keep coming back to green, an emerald green or the sage green. So I don't know, I guess we'll see what I actually end up with, but that's been really fun too, just thinking about what I want to do in terms of decorating my own home. But oh my gosh, stuff is so expensive, and I feel like I'm going off on a total tangent here, but if you've tried to buy furniture recently, lately, it is really expensive. So I've been trying to find reasonably priced furniture, and that's been an adventure in and of itself, which, you know what, it's kind of part of the fun, you know what I mean? Like it's, you know, trying to find stuff that, you know, really fits what you're looking for, but also being on a budget. Like, obviously, like, it would be really nice if I just had all the money in the world, but I do not. So I'm currently doing my best. And honestly, like, I think it's fun too, because it forces me to slow down. I am definitely someone who will decide what they want and then just be like, oh, I need to buy all this stuff for the room all at one time. But, you know, really having to budget and think about that, because like, I don't know why all of a sudden randomly I was like, I think I want a Tiffany lamp. Like, why? Why did I decide that that's something that I wanted? Like, you know, and those are not, not inexpensive, but like, that's definitely not something that's on the like list of things to buy right now or anything. But it's just, I don't know, it's kind of fun, like really being able to slowly piece it together and also really think about what you want, if that makes sense. And I'm trying to also get some really nice quality pieces, since I feel like a lot of the stuff I have too, not that there's anything wrong with it, but I've got a lot of cubicles and everything, like just stuff I got like during college. And so I'm trying to upgrade maybe some of those pieces eventually, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I have a mix of different kinds of pieces. But anyway, so that's just like what's been going on with me, like I guess different stuff that's been going on with me other than what I talked about in my last video. And it's been kind of fun. And you can see here too that I just randomly changed all of the dark brown to like this white color. Like I said, I really struggled with the color palette with that regard too. And I think the white was just a little bit brighter and I just really enjoyed it. And I will say too that the couch, it does look a little bit close, but like I said, I did play test it. So fingers crossed, you shouldn't have any issues. But as usual as well, be sure to have bb.move objects when you place any of my lots, because I always have that cheat on. And if you don't know what that is, basically it's just a cheat that allows you to place items closer together. So if you have built in The Sims, you can see that like each item kind of has this like outline around it. So like other items can't intersect that area. And if you have that cheat on, that means that like other items can be placed closer together so that it makes sense. And I also play tested it to where your sim can get in there and light the fireplace and all of that kind of good stuff, because I feel like that is something I struggle with when I make living rooms. If I put a fireplace in there, I'm really bad about wanting to place the coffee table or whatever too close to the fireplace. And then your sim is like, I can't get to it because I need like 50 feet of space between the fireplace and me in order to light it anyways. So I just think it's kind of funny, but I did play test it, so you shouldn't have any issues here. And I also was like, how do I want to get to the second floor? That was honestly a huge struggle that I had. Originally, I had a ladder right here and it just, I don't know, it didn't really work quite well. So I do actually end up having an exterior staircase, which I think it turned out really neat, but it is something I don't really think I've done before, but I think it kind of suits this build pretty nicely. And I really tried to put a lot of character and like clutter and everything in each one of these builds. So it is expensive. This whole lot is about 600,000 simoleons, which is astronomical. I had like, I don't know if I've ever done a lot that's that expensive, but I don't know, apparently it is possible to do that. Like, I don't know how I even did it, but you can see I've actually went ahead and put in that staircase. I think I ended up pausing the recording when I did that because I really was struggling so much with what to do in terms of how to get to the next floor and be able to utilize all the space that this build has to offer. And you can tell too that the staircase actually like runs right into that little hallway between the kitchen and living room. And so I wanted to say the lighting looks a little bit weird in that one particular hallway just because it had to be open to the outdoors because of the staircase. So just FYI. I couldn't find a way around that kind of lighting thing, but I thought it was worth it because I just thought it looked really cool. And I figured we really needed a nice greenhouse area in this build. You know what I mean? So maybe this sim is super into the outdoors, and I tried to also like include a bunch of windows everywhere, which, you know, in real life can be a little bit difficult to deal with, especially like if you're living really close to other people, like if, you know, you don't have window tinting and window covers and stuff like that. But again, it's a sim, so it's totally fine to just put windows everywhere. And I think it's really funny that they don't find any embarrassment with that, but you would think, right? Like if a sim could just be right outside the window and can see into your bathroom, that would be an issue, but luckily it is not. So I tried to include a lot of stuff in here, and you know, I guess it looks like I ended up just putting some of those hanging plants there on the window. And I guess honestly, because they kind of look like they're glass, I thought maybe it's like a special window kind of thing they did. And I also made the like, and what I ended up doing, I think I actually created a platform and connected those two staircases is what I really ended up doing there. And I ended up using kind of the lattice look on there because I thought it would be this cool, like, look for vines and plants and stuff like that. And in the bathroom, this was really an interesting build. I really did have a lot of fun with it, and it just, you know, I really had to rack my brain around it. What I ended up doing is we're working on the bathroom here, and I decided that I wanted to have like a 360-degree fish tank, so you could see the fish tank like all the way around the bathroom. And so what I actually ended up doing was creating this center like column, and then I ended up taking those fish tanks, and if you take any of those fish tanks that are in the game and you size the item down, all of the fish and the coral and everything stay the same size. The only thing that really shrinks is the actual, what am I trying to say? The actual fish tank itself. I don't know why all of a sudden the word fish tank was just like not in my brain, but it actually ends up being sized down. So I try to cover that up any way I could. And I went in and had this sim fill it with fish. So hopefully that does stick around. If it doesn't, you can easily just have your sim like go and fill those, and then they kind of stick around. And I end up putting windows all the way around. I'm pretty sure I ended up, let's see, I think I ended up with like 3 of the sides having windows in there, but I just thought that was so cool. And again, I know it's a bathroom and there's windows all the way around it, but we're just going to, you know, accept the fact that it's The Sims and it's going to be okay. And it's not a big deal. But I thought this was a really cool idea. Again, not something I've really ever done before. I've done the sizing down of the fish tanks, but like in a bathroom like this, I just thought that would be so fun. And again, leaning into this kind of really pretty seafoamy sage color. And I ended up doing a like bathtub platform, and then on the other side I did the shower, and then the toilet is on the other side. And it's really an interesting bathroom. It's definitely one of those unique, I feel like it might end up on like Zillow Gone Wild or whatever account that is, which by the way is an awesome account. I follow them on Instagram. They show like Zillow listings for houses that just have interesting things in them, good, bad, and everything in between. Like I just saw they posted this house that had like, it was just a typical family home, and then it was in the basement or something. They had like a full on like play gym, ball pit, like it was crazy looking. But anyway, so I feel like maybe this bathroom would end up putting it on the list, which hopefully that's a good thing. But anyways, like that was totally random, but it was something I was looking at earlier, and I was like, oh my gosh, that would be like so cool though to have like a ball pit in in your house like growing up. But I did end up putting in, I did a like double shower kind of thing. So I put a shower like on both sides, and I end up putting like a little stool in the middle. I will say when I play tested it, I had to size down the stool, so your sim should be able to get it in there. So if you notice in the screenshots, it's a little bit smaller. That's just because the sim said I can't get in there, but when I sized it down, it like worked just fine. And I will say some items, when you size it down, the sim is like, oh, okay, that's cool. But then there's other items, like off the top of my head, I can't remember one, but I do know there's some items that even when you size it down, the sim kind of still acts like it's there, you know what I mean? It still has like a collision with the item. But on this front side here, I end up putting in, I believe I actually include laundry in here as well, which I thought was really cool. And I honestly don't know, because I really haven't played with the rental pack, like actual gameplay. I've more so like used the items and using the functionality here. But and you can let me know too if this is something that you know, but whether or not, like if I have laundry on this lot, does it like collect laundry from all the other lots? I'm hoping not. I'm hoping it functions like within its own like rental, you know what I mean? And I did on the gallery, it is placed where each home is designated as different rentals. The only thing I couldn't do, which I think I mentioned in the last video, but I thought I mentioned again, is the yards. So you may have an issue of like Sims going into each other's yards, but I couldn't really figure out how to block those off and make it a room, especially like since I had the driveways. But of course, if you download it and you figure out a way to do it, or you want to change it, you know, feel free to do that. Or if it becomes an issue, you know, you can take out the driveway, whatever you want to do. That doesn't hurt my feelings at all. You know, be able to play with this lot like how you need to for your own gameplay. And then you end up going across this open hallway. Again, it's definitely not like an ideal home in terms of like actual living, but it's really cool in The Sims, I feel like. And we go over across, and that actually ends up being the bedroom. And again, I do something interesting in here as well. I feel like putting the wall in the middle of a round room really allows for, you know, for there to be more things in the room, if that makes sense, because it gives you, I feel like having wall space really helps like to be able to hang stuff up and things like that and really designate areas. And so what I end up doing is kind of doing the bed on one side, because I figured that side looks out into like, it's not part of the lot. So, and it has like a cool view, I feel like, so you could like lay in bed and like read a book and look out the window and be really pretty. And the other side has like closet sitting area situation, which honestly, I really ended up liking this little seating area that I created. And I think I ended up just combining some of the Dream Home Decorator closet pieces and the Dream Home Decorator, I think the modular sofa, I think is what I ended up putting in there. Which, let me see if that's actually what I end up doing, because I remember it fitting in really well and looking really nice. And it's kind of funny that I was like, oh, this is perfect. Well, it came from the same pack, and it was supposed to be modular, and like it was supposed to fit together, which I don't know. I just think it's funny that I was like, oh, this is great. Well, but it was like meant, I feel like, to go together. And I think it looked really cool and really cozy here and just kind of, you know, really unique. You know what I mean? And I will say, like, so we have 3 of the homes are like more family homes, and 3 of the homes are more for like 1 or 2 Sims. So the next 2 houses we're going to do, the blue and purple, are both going to be larger family homes. And then the orange one I did earlier was also like a family home. But anyways, I just thought I would make a note of that. They're not all just like 1 or 2 Sims. There are like some larger spaces too, which I thought was kind of fun too, because I tried to like, you know, I was like, oh, they're all gonna be tiny homes. And I was like, actually, this is a pretty big, like, when I sectioned off this lot, I can't remember. I think it's like a 50 by 50. Is that even a size? Anyways, it's one of the larger lots in, I think it's Willow Creek. It's so funny. It's been so long since I've actually built these that I don't actually remember. But I do have all that information that will be in the description if you want to see what lot I put it on and all that good stuff. And if you want to put it on the same lot, and I put it there, like, you obviously do not have to use the same lot, but if you like the look of where it is, because sometimes, you know, I base the landscaping and how I build it, you know, it's based off of the lot it's on, if that makes sense. So if you put in another lot, like the landscaping may not make as much sense. And for this bed, I did this like botanical backdrop, and then I put the bed on a platform. I really was like experimenting a lot, I feel like, with this build, which is probably why I remember it being a difficult one, because I was just doing so many things that were kind of different. And I will say, like, it was play tested, your sim can get into the bed, so hopefully you shouldn't have any kind of issue with that. But I just thought this was so cool and cozy, like having this own little like unique space. And we do end up using all of the like roof spaces as well, because I really wanted to utilize all of it. This kind of, I feel like, would be a really cool entertaining home, to be honest. Like, this might be 1 or 2 Sims who just really like having people over and everything. And you can see too, like, I'm kind of skipping. I ended up putting some stuff out on the like common areas. So I don't think I mentioned it in the last video, but I do include, like, at the end of the road, there is like a little park area, because I figured if we're gonna have kids on the lot, like, they would be somewhere for everybody to go and kind of hang out. And I added in like the hopscotch and everything based off of a comment that I had in one of my earlier videos. And I will say, if you comment any suggestions, I've already built all these houses. So just a heads up, if I don't do it, I did not ignore you, I promise. But I just have made these videos so long ago because the plan was for them to be pre-recorded so I can post them during my move, which just didn't happen, unfortunately. But it's fine. It's, you know, it's all good. So I end up trying to really decide how I want to do this, because I really originally wanted like a big tree in the middle and it'd be like this canopy thing, and it just didn't really work out that way. So, but I really want to include trees, and I really just wanted it to feel very lush and really like greenhousey, if that makes sense. And greenhousey, that's not really a word, but you know what I mean. You kind of get the feeling I'm going for. So, and I will say that, like, it was interesting doing landscaping with just green. Like, so there's a little bit of white in there, and kind of, you know, going off of the white that I have on, you know, the windows and everything. But I just thought this ended up looking really good. And I sized up the little planter thing. Oh goodness, what is that from again? Is that from Growing Together? I can't remember. Or Cottage Living. Anyways, that thing right there by the door, it actually looks really good sized up right there. And so using just some really pretty hydrangeas and just a bunch of greenery to really fill this space out. And I also will say, I can't, I made a note for myself. It made it through the move and everything. I can't remember if while I'm building, you can see some bushes like clipping into maybe, I think it might have been the living room, or if it also shows up in the screenshots, I can't remember, but that has also been fixed. So there shouldn't be any kind of clipping issues in terms of the bushes and everything outside. I feel like that's partially why a lot of times I feel like I do the landscaping first, is because then when I decorate the inside, I can tell if I accidentally like pushed a bush too close to the house and then it's like sticking inside of it. But I think I got all of them, so that shouldn't be really an issue. But I will say, like, I feel like all of these lots are very lavish, like they're very filled out, and like honestly I really did enjoy making all of these. And like I said, I really made this a lot of an entertaining space. So this first like patio area that is off of the bedroom, which is, listen, is also not exactly like what you'd want in real life, because you'd have to go through the like owner's suite in order to get to this space. But you know what? It's fine. It's fine. It's The Sims. Like, this is not what I'd want for my own house, but I think it works just fine in this case, because, you know, Sims just show up on your lot and just want to come and use your like computer anyways. Like, they just kind of make themselves at home. So I figured it wouldn't matter too much, but I wanted this to be a really cool like grilling patio, like get together space. And I do also end up adding, I'm pretty sure I end up putting a fire pit up top as well, along with like a super luscious like fountain garden seating area, which sounds like really ridiculous. You'll see what I mean when we actually get up there. But I think it turned out really nicely, and I can't remember if I swap out that like awning or not. I kind of went back and forth about, of course, since it was outdoors, like some of the colors looked a little bit different. So some of the items I feel like I usually would have used like don't quite fit because of, you know, the sun. That sounds so silly, but you know, it just looks a little bit different. And on that note, I actually also just got some patio furniture, which I am obsessed with. I was so excited. I went and bought some furniture for my back porch. I mean, it's not a large back porch or anything, but I got like a couch and like a little coffee table, and I got these like really pretty pillows. It's like blue and orange, and I don't know, it looks really nice. And I'm like, sorry, and I don't mean to brag either. That's not what I'm trying to do. So hopefully it doesn't come off that way. I was just really excited about it. Like, I've been super obsessed. I'm not someone who really likes to go outside or anything, but lately I've been like, I'm gonna go sit out on my like back porch. Like, I'm gonna go sit out there, which is kind of funny. Again, definitely not like me at all, especially if you've watched any of my Twitch streams. I'm sure it's come up because I'm just really not an outdoorsy person, part of which I feel like is because I have really bad allergies. So being outside is just difficult for me. Because I just have a hard time. But anyways, this is the fire pit I was talking about, and I will say it caught on fire when I did the screenshots. Now, obviously, the fire pit itself should be on fire, but like the couch around it shouldn't be. So I don't know why it's doing that. Like, I've had that happen a few times. Like, I didn't put a rug under it or anything. I don't know. Or maybe my Sims are just really unlucky, but I'm hoping that's not a persistent issue that you have. But yeah, it did catch on fire when I was doing these screenshots, which is always fun. So, and hopefully I actually fixed all the burned items before I put it up on the gallery. I think I did, but I have done that before, where there was a fire while I was doing the screenshots, and then I didn't actually end up fixing like all of the stuff that like got burnt up in the fire. But anyway, so hopefully that's not really an issue. But this was that fountainy garden area I was talking about. I just thought it would be such a cute, cozy place for your Sim to come and hang out. Like the Sims maybe that actually live here. Like, this is kind of the space I wanted to put lanterns and just a bunch of like plants and stuff out here, and it just be really this like serene area for them to come hang out, read a book. I try to put like a coffee cup and the glasses out here. Like, this is somewhere they really like to relax. And again, I have no clue what these Sims do for like, you know, jobs or anything. I just kind of made this and kind of went with it. So, you know, they could be a writer. I mean, who knows? Or maybe they just enjoy reading. Maybe they are a gardener. I have no idea. But of course, you can do whatever you want to when you download it, play with it however you wish. And I really enjoy, this is probably one of my favorite areas of this build, was actually this little patio up here, because I think it just turned out so nice and so like cozy feeling. So I was really excited about that, to be honest. And just adding all of these, just tons of plants, tons of lights. I really wanted this to look good when it was dark as well. But if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And I hope you have a really sweet day. Bye, everybody.
change.